It's time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Pet Show. Does your terrier need a timeout? Is your tabby a bit lazy? Are your doodles acting depressed? You know what I'm talking about. If you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and really want to try to understand your dog or cat's behavior, as well as they understand yours, maybe you're a bit confused about your dog or cat's behavior, or just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. That's right, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet behavior, pet training, pet lifestyle shows. You know what to do. Hop up on my couch. Bring those adorable little furry buddies with you, because it is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. Great day to give me a call if you have a question or a comment about your dog or cat. Maybe you want to find out why your dog is chewing, or your cat's not using a litter box, or your dog is humping everything in sight, your cat can't deal with the new cat that came into the house. Your in-laws are moving in and your dog doesn't like them. Maybe that's a good thing. We'll talk about that. Any behavioral issues that you may be having with your dogs and cats, that's what we talk about here and what we've been talking about for over 40 years on The Pet Show. I will help you resolve any issues you may be having with your dog or cat's behavior, but a lot more likely any issues your dog or cats may be having with your behavior. By the way, if you happen to be new to The Pet Show, before I give you the phone number, everyone that calls into the show and actually gets to talk to me live on the air always gets a phenomenal gift. Why? The reason is simple. Many of the gifts I give away are tied directly in to the question or issue you may be having. For example, if you have a dog that's scooting his butt on the ground, I have something that will resolve that. So everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me live will get a great gift for their dog or cat. Plenty of time for your calls, lots of great stuff to give away, and you don't have to have a question. If you want to share a great story, I say this every week. If you recently adopted an older dog or an older cat, or maybe a dog or cat with a challenge, or maybe you found a dog or cat on the street and you brought him home. If you want to talk about this amazing new friend of yours, give me a call. The reason for that is it may actually encourage other people to adopt, and that's what we want to do here, is we want to put everyone in the humane business out, and they will be the happiest people on the unemployment line. Great time to give me a call. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA. That's 866-870-KRLA. But perhaps you're more into numbers like I am. That's 866-870-5752. 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. And again, if you're new to the show, I'm not giving away milk bones and biscuits here. Thanks to my great sponsors and some other people, many of the items I give away are worth as much as $25, $35, $40, even $50. So everyone that calls in and gets to talk to me will get a fabulous gift for their dog or their cat. Again, that number, 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get. If you want to watch the show live, you can watch that too. See, I'm wearing actually a short sleeve shirt today, which I never wear. It's not to cover up my tattoos, but I have farmer's arms. You know what farmer's arms are? That means, when your bottoms of your arms are kind of nice and tan, and the top of your arms are bone. Well, that's me. I have farmer's arms, but I am wearing. It's hot. I'm wearing. Farmer's tans. There you go. Thank you, Alex. Farmer's tans. I got that. Why I got that, I don't know. I never had it before. So anyway, bottom line is this. I am wearing a short sleeve shirt, probably for the first time you've ever seen me do this on the air. Even Willie and Molly looked at me this one. What is that, Pop? I see your arms. 866-870-KRLA. The phone number, 866-870-5752. We're going to get to you, Priscilla. We're going to get to you, Elaine. But first, I have a really, really fun show lined up for you guys today. First of all, listen to me real carefully here, because I know that the majority of you do, and I want to hear from you. Does letting your dog sleep in bed with you actually cause separation anxiety? Separation anxiety actually affects 20 to 40% of dogs in America. So, should you sleep with your dogs or not? According to studies, according to behaviorists, and according to these geniuses, that sleeping with your dog in bed causes separation anxiety. Are you going to stop sleeping with your dog in bed? Give me a call. If you get through, I'll send you a great gift. 866-870-KRLA. 866-870-575. I couldn't go to sleep without having dogs in the bed with me. I can't believe someone's actually bringing this up, that letting your dog sleep with you is causing separation anxiety. He's got a pretty good argument. We'll talk about that a little bit later. What do you think? Give me a call. Also coming up, it may just sound like a Seinfeld episode, but coming up on the Pet Show today, we're going to do the interference. I know a little bit about the Seinfeld show. I was managed by Howard West and George Shapiro, the exec producers, for many years. And this is interesting, the interference, and this is something many cat guardians joke about, but it's real, and I'll explain coming up. I also do so many calls come up on this show and my national show. Warren, our dog is whining excessively. Why is our dog whining? What can I do? Have you ever heard the term stress whining or stress barking? A lot of people have no idea when a dog is barking or whining. So many people want to yell at the dog and blame on the dog if the dog is whining, but maybe the whining is actually caused by you. And your resolution is just going to make it worse. We'll talk about that. Also, who doesn't want to be their dog or cat's top person? Come on, face it. So we're going to take a look at the top 10 signs that you are your dog's favorite person. As always, plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. So if you have a question about your dog or cat jumping, chewing, scratching, confused about the litter box, maybe that beautiful rescue dog isn't housebroken, maybe that cat is not getting along with the other cat, you can't take your dog for a walk because if he sees anything on the street, he goes absolutely nuts, or your dog literally believes that everything in life must be humped. That's right, I said humped, H-U-M-P-E-D. Give me a call, let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Also, you guys are pretty amazing. My listeners all over the country and pretty much all over the world, my listeners always come up with some great ideas. Now, I don't have to tell you, we live here in Southern California. I'm pretty lucky. I live in Santa Monica where it's not as hot as the Inland Empire and the Valley. So if you live in those areas that are really hot, what are you doing to keep your dogs cool? What are you doing to keep your dogs cool? And some advice from you guys as well. I'm not the only one here giving advice. You guys know a lot too. So if you have advice about dealing with a dog that's overheating or what to do to keep your dog cool, give me a call. Let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I actually got a text this week from someone whose cat got really sick. And I said, well, what happened? And they lived right here in Southern California, I think in the Riverside area. And the cat just loves to hang out on the windowsill all day. And that's where he hung out. He almost toasted. The cat got so overheated, fell asleep on the window, and just got so overheated they had to rush it to the vet. But now the cat's okay. Just things you need to take into consideration. 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Now listen. The other day, my guys, Molly and Willie, I'm going to talk about them a little bit today. They just had their teeth cleaned, and I'm going to apologize on the air, and I'll tell you why later on. But before I do that, very often, Denise will let Molly and Willie outside in the yard to play. Then they'll come inside. I might be in the garage or upstairs doing what I'm doing. And as soon as I come down, they look at me like they haven't been outside in a year. They've never been outside before. This is the first time. It wasn't just that they were outside 5 minutes ago, but they want to go out again. So here's my question. How does your dog or your cat con you? You know they do. Does your dog con you into a treat, perhaps when someone else in the family already gave him a treat? How does your dog or cat con you? Great time to give me a call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. As I said, lots of great stuff to give away on the show, and I really mean that. I'll be giving away lots of Lucy pet food today, including kitty lickies and their dog food rolls. Amazing. I'll be giving away my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats for either dogs or cats. Kitty lickies, which cats absolutely go crazy over. Those brand new t-shirts are in that say none of my friends walk upright. They're brand new. We changed the way they're done. They look amazing. All natural herbal flea spray, that no scoot stuff I talked about. stuff for your dogs and cats, hips and joints. Lots of amazing stuff to give away. Great time to give me a call, even if you just want to answer my question of the day. How does your dog or cat con you? The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me shoot right. By the way, if you want to watch the show live and see this incredible Hawaiian short sleeve shirt I'm wearing, check it out. Let me go right to the phone here. Let's go to my friend Priscilla calling from Sherman Oaks. Hey, Priscilla, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, thank you, Warren. I had a bad year. I broke my hip in February, and Missy died a few months before, and she was, almost 18 with her kidney disease. So after she died, I was still with a good hip. I got a new puppy within 5 days, a little white Maltipoo, and I have to have a dog in my life. So anyway, I left her and boarded her when I was in the rehab for 2.5 months.
Okay, so now I want to make sure I got plenty. I want to make sure, Priscilla.
I had a
Priscilla, listen. I want to make sure I have plenty of time. So, what is your exact question for me?
It's different, mad at me, angry.
She's angry at you because you boarded her.
Yeah, because she lived in a house that had a backyard. We're in a condo, a backyard.
Priscilla, she will.
Listen, 8 years old. She was having a great time.
Priscilla, I'm going to put you on hold for a second. She will adjust, okay? They don't get angry at you. They get a little confused when they go from one type of home to another type of home. She's not angry at you. I'm sure you love her. I know you. So the bottom line is, Priscilla, what you want to do is just give her some time to readjust. It's not going to happen overnight, but don't over panic about it. Just let her be. She doesn't hate you.
She never tore it up before. I had pictures on tables. She'd grab the pictures.
Priscilla, I'm going to have to put you on hold again, okay? You have to let me answer your question, okay? Let me answer it. The bottom line is give her time to adjust. She's going to do things that are a little unusual. Try to give her as much attention as you possibly can, as much stimulation as you possibly can. But the bottom line is this. The bottom line is dogs will change with change in their environment. So that's what you need to do. Just give it some more time.
Okay, she came home in March, so she's been
Priscilla, Priscilla, I know you're calling off a lot. I'm going to donate a gift I would give to you to someone else, but I got to get to all these calls. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. The phones are always busy here on the Pet Show. I try to spend as much time as I can with people, but the bottom line is I was trying to explain to Priscilla, who's a lovely lady, she's called so many times, I tried to explain to Priscilla that the bottom line is when a dog goes from, she just got the puppy, was with her, then the puppy went somewhere else, now the puppy's coming into somewhere else, it's going to take some time for the dog to decompress. Just give it some time, a lot of patience, and maybe a glass of wine for you. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Plenty of time for your calls. We're going to get to you, Elaine. Bill, we'll get to you, Shelley, as well. I want to get to as many calls as possible. I didn't get to as many calls as I wanted to last week, so if you have a question or a comment, also coming up on today's show. Let me take a break, and then when we come back, I'm going to tell you why I did something so wrong this week that I think is so wrong, and I got to share it with you guys, and I want to get your opinion about it as well. So we'll do that when we come back. I promise I'll get to you, Elaine, Bill, and Shelley. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me take a quick break here and then right back to your phone calls. Listen. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. The question of the day is pretty simple. What does your dog or cat do to con you? You know they do. Great time to give me a call. I do have an open line or two. If you get through, a fabulous gift will be on its way to you for your best friend. Again, the number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Great time to give me a call because I'm going to talk for a couple of seconds. Elaine, I'm going to get to you, I promise. Same thing with you, Bill. Same thing with you, Shelley. But right now, I don't know if it's an apology or I just feel horrible about what I did this week. Let me explain to you. Denise and I took Molly and Willie to their veterinarian to have their teeth cleaned because that's what you should do. So Molly and Willie were inside the veterinary hospital having their teeth cleaned, and you know me better. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care if I have to sit in the parking lot for 2 or 3, 4, or 5 hours. I'm sitting there. So there I was. So Denise and I are sitting in the parking lot, and not one, but a few minutes later, 2 women came out of the veterinary hospital in tears. I mean, just bawling their eyes out. And they went over to their cars. 2 different people. They didn't know each other. And went over to I'm assuming at this point that they both have to have their dogs euthanized, and they were leaving. So they came out, I mean, in tears. I'm a real compassionate person. And they both got into their cars and sat there for a few minutes crying. And Denise kept saying, you know, Warren, maybe we should go over and talk to them and see if we can be more compassionate and maybe make them feel a lot better. I didn't do it. And I'll tell you why I didn't do it. In my life, I've been through a lot of tragedies, a lot of deaths, and the way I deal with it is probably wrong, but I run away. When I'm in that situation and I've lost life, it doesn't make any difference what I've lost. I run away. I get in my car. I go to the beach. I don't want anyone around me. So I responded to them in a way that I would want someone to respond to me, but that was totally wrong, and I totally apologize. It was wrong on my part. Denise was 100% right. I should have went over to them, or both of us should have went over to them, and by the time Denise went over, they were already gone. I should have went over to them, and I should have said, you know, can I talk to you? How can I make you feel better? Is there anything you want to talk to me about? Just remember the good times. You know, remember, I did bereavement counseling for years for the Animal Medical Center in Manhattan. So it's something I know, but yet something prevented me from doing it. So I feel horrible about it, and I hope they listen to the show. If they do, I apologize. And Denise was 100% right. I was a little selfish, perhaps, responding the way I would have wanted someone to respond to me rather than responding the way that perhaps these 2 ladies needed. So my heart goes out to them. Agree or disagree with me? What would you have done? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you, both sides. And I know Denise was right, so if you want to tell me why I was wrong, I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Lots of time for your calls. And what would you have done? Would you have gone over to them at that point, or would you have done what I did? I'd love to hear from you. Please give me a call and let me know. I feel so bad about it. But now let me help some people out with their pets. Let's get back to the phone lines here. Let's go to Elaine. Hi, Elaine. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Warren.
How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What can I do to help you out today?
I have 2 cats, and they're 5 years old. They're siblings. And they consistently have used the litter box over the years, but in the last 6 months, one of them, and I don't know which one, is starting to poop in the bathtub or the sink, maybe once a week. Not every day, just once a week. And it seems to happen most frequently when the litter is actually clean versus used.
Yeah, well, you know, there's always, in the sink and in the bathtub, no matter what we think and no matter how clean we are, there's always scent coming up from the drains. So very often that's part of the cause. However, we really need to find out which cat it is. Maybe there's a medical issue with one of the cats. Maybe there's crystal. We don't know. So here's what I recommend you do. Take a little bit of low-fat milk, get some all-natural food coloring, put just a little bit in the milk, let the cat drink it. If you notice that the cat is peeing purple, then you know which cat is peeing in the sink in the tub. So once we've figured out which cat is doing it, then we can make sure that if there's a physical problem, we can take care of it.
Well, they're actually pooping. They're not peeing. They're
Oh, it makes no, I'm sorry. It doesn't make any difference, peeing or pooping. Because sometimes when a cat stops pooping in their litter box, it could be because they're constipated, have diarrhea, or it's uncomfortable for them. So let's rule out everything medical, okay? However, it's an easy problem to resolve. What I would do is make sure in the sink or the bathtub where they've been going for the next 3 or 4 weeks, leave 3 or 4 inches of water in the tub and the sink. That will prevent them from going. Chances are they'll go right back to their litter box.
Okay, and what if they're constipated, though? I mean, the stools are pretty hard and small.
Well, if they're constipated, then you'd have to speak to your vet about, changing diet a little bit. Maybe that's part of it. Do they seem healthy? Are they eating normally?
Yes.
Yeah, let me do this. I'm gonna put you on hold. No, I'm not gonna. You know what? I'm gonna send you some Lucy Pet Food. I want you to make the switch gradually. Maybe the food that they're on. Maybe as they get older, the food is not agreeing. So let me do this. Let me put you on hold. I want Suzette to pick up. Suzette, we're gonna send Elaine in Oregon. We're gonna send her some Lucy Pet Food for her cats. But sometimes we need to really analyze why a dog or cat is doing something. Kind of make all the difference in the world. But usually let's assume that for some reason the cat is picking up some scent that's either coming out of the sink or some scent that's coming out of the tub. And that's very, very, very common. Just by leaving a little water in there for a few days is usually enough to resolve the problem. But once you've ruled out any medical issues. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Phones are getting busy. I'm going to get to all your calls, I promise. But right now we're going to go to Bill in Huntington Beach. Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Very good. Thanks for taking my call, Warren.
Hey, Bill, I'm jealous. I wanted to come down here and watch the surfing competition today. It started already, right? Like at 8 this morning.
Well, I think so.
Yeah. God, what a Huntington Beach. You lucky devil. Anyway, what can I do for you?
I have a 13-year-old Chihuahua mix that went blind and deaf just about a year ago. And when he went blind and deaf, he doesn't seem to want to go for a walk anymore, so he's not getting any exercise. I was wondering if you have any suggestions on how I might be able to encourage him or make him go for walks.
Does he get along with other dogs?
He does.
Do you have other dogs in the neighborhood that maybe he knew before he went blind and deaf?
No, not really.
So, what the ideal thing? Yeah, the ideal thing would be if in fact that there was another dog that he knew that you can kind of rehook up with them and kind of walk together. That may be just enough to encourage. I mean, I've seen blind deaf dogs with a dog that they knew beforehand that was not challenged, and they do great. So that would be something if you can find another dog that maybe he knew or gets. That's one thing. When you first saw my screen, it said the dog was blind, and I said, well, then you can use a clicker or some other type of sound to encourage the dog. The only other thing that I would recommend that you do is I would bring him out when it's really, really quiet. Early in the morning, later on in the evening when no one's around. Just sit on the floor with him and just kind of see if he'll just run little circles around you. Let him gain some confidence about being outside, even though he's lost his vision and he's lost his hearing. He still may adapt. I've had many dogs in my lifetime that were both visually and audio challenged. And you're right, it's not the easiest thing in the world because the world changes for them. It's not like they were born this way and adjusted, but you got to give them some time. Sometimes just sitting out there with them, or if there's a favorite person sitting a few feet in front of them that can call him or tap on the ground, he can hear the vibrations. That would be important. Also, you may want to start using vibrations as well. They feel the vibrations. Sometimes over the years, I've actually used a little like a drumstick on the ground before I fed them or before I gave them a treat. So they associated that tapping. They felt that tapping before they got something positive. So there's a lot of ways to approach it, but the most important thing right now is don't let him go into that depression. Force that socialization and that going out a little bit at a time. That's where I would be at this point.
Okay, thank you.
What's your dog's name, by the way?
Handsome.
Handsome. And have you had him all 13 years?
I have. I think he was a year old when I got him a rescue.
Has he ever conned you? Has he ever conned you? Come on, the truth, Bill.
No, he's a lovable, happy, friendly dog. Never bites or barks. Well, except when people come to the door, he would.
And that's what he's supposed to. Anyway, you give him a big hug and a kiss for me. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your 13-year-old dog. You know what? I'm going to send you. What do I want to send you? I am going. You know what? I'm going to send you some hugs and kisses. Yeah, it's got the glucosamine, the chondroitin, the prebiotics, the probiotics. Make it gradually. Just add a little bit to his food, and I think you're going to be fine. But again, encourage him. Don't let him go into that depression. I've seen it way too often. Yes, I know, Alex. I got to go to a commercial break. Great time to call me. I do have one line open. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'd love to hear from some people. I'm telling you, I was in tears yesterday. That's how bad I felt about not responding the way I think I should have responded. I'm a pretty compassionate guy. I think you guys know that. But I responded. I guess I was being selfish, not responding to them because that's what I would have wanted for myself. And I guess I wasn't thinking enough about the other people. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Still got some more hugs and kisses to give away. Lucy Pet Food, Kitty Lickies, T-shirts, flea spray, copies of my best-selling books. But right now, I want to tell you about NatureVet. From the And we are back on the Pet Show. So a study came out that says that if you let your dog sleep in bed with you, you're the cause of separation anxiety in your dog. So what do? Do you stop sleeping with your dog in bed? Do you really believe that sleeping with your dog in bed causes separation anxiety? Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me go to Shelley. Then we got Judy. And then we got my friend Pam in North Hills. We'll try to get to you, Pam. Roman in L.A., who also want to respond to my my reaction. And I'm telling you, I felt horrible. I was in tears, but you can't go back. You can only go forward. But right now, let me go to Shelley in Beverly Hills and see if we can help her out with this scenario. Hey, Shelley, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Shelley. How about yourself?
Well, my son was in Gainesville, Florida, working there, and he has a German Shepherd Husky mix.
Yeah.
4 years old, and my son had to go to the hospital suddenly, and he died suddenly.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry, Shelley. How hard that must be for you.
I know how you feel when you don't want to talk to other people for that reason, even with a puppy or a dog. And now the situation is that the dog, he's a big dog. He's a husky. He's a German Shepherd, basically, with a husky mix.
Yeah.
And a coworker is taking care of the dog who has a submissive dog, and our dog is called Max. And Max plays very well with people and children and babies, and he was great with dogs until he used to go to a certain kennel and loved it there. And then after during COVID, they closed their shop, and then my son put the dog in a different kennel when he had to go to work out of town. And the dog, when he came to pick him up, the dog was bloody on the nose and bloody on the hand.
That means he got into battles with other dogs. And I know your next line is going to be to tell me that the dog is not great with other dogs. So let me see. And I see
even the littlest dog.
Yeah, but
he's barking at.
I'm seeing from my screen. I'm seeing from my screen, and God, my heart just breaks for you, that you are unable to take the dog. So what's the scenario?
Yeah, see, I live in an apartment, and I just had hip surgery. And I went to see my son before the hip surgery with the problem, and he trained the dog so the dog never even jumps on me. Never.
All right, so let me ask you.
So gentle with me. And another story, a friend, her daughter was afraid of dogs, and she met Max. She asked my son if she could take him to the for a walk, and so they went for a walk, and coming back, all of a sudden, in the street, he came in front of her instead of next to her, walking next to her. He came in front of her because there was a truck coming, and he tried to save her life.
Shelley, it's an amazing dog, and it's really one of those tough situations. How old did you say Max was now?
4 years old.
He's 4 years old, and it's almost, I'm kind of at a loss. Here's what I can do, okay? I'm going to get Suzette, the amazing Suzette, my screener, to get your name and your phone number and all your information.
Okay.
I can't find a home in Gainesville. I might be able to find a home on my national show, but on this show, obviously, most of my listeners from Los Angeles.
I mean, if they could find one in California, I'd like to visit the dog once.
Well, that was my point. That's my point, Grandma. I would love if there's someone out there, some rescue organization that can at least foster Max until we can find him that permanent home. If there's someone out there, Shelley just lost her son. Shelley, Max is part of your son.
He's part of my life. I know how much my son loved that dog.
And Shelley,
during COVID, he took him everywhere.
Here's what I'm going to do, Shelley, and I shouldn't, but I'm going to. If there's a group or a person or a family or an individual that can give Max the home he deserves, I personally will help you resolve any issues. Personally, I don't do this anymore. Resolve any issues that they may be having. So here's what I want you to do. First of all, a big hug and a kiss for you, Shelley. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you on hold, and what I'm going to do is have Suzette pick up. Suzette, get all the information you need, Max's age, Max's size, the whole situation. And if there's someone out there, I have a lot of rescue people, a lot of individuals with big hearts out there. Remember now, this is more than her son's dog. A dog that grows up or a dog that lives with somebody is part of that person. So you heard in Shelley's voice, gosh, I just want to go visit him. It's like going to visit her son. Is there someone out there that can help Shelley? We're going to get all of information, whatever we can do. Let's see. Wouldn't it be amazing if someone in my show, and we've adopted hardest situation, but if someone would adopt or foster Max and give Shelley the opportunity to spend time once again with her granddog in memory of her son who she just lost. We'll help you out, Shelley, I promise. My heart is in this. My soul is in this. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. The phones are jamming. I want to get to as many calls as I can, but also I'm going to toss this topic out. We got plenty of time. I have been inundated this week. I spoke to every place probably in the country about President Biden's dog, Commander, and the 10 bites in 4 months. And I took a different approach than everybody else. This is not a bad dog. This is a dog in a lousy situation with people that have no idea what they're doing. If you have any questions about that, I'll try to get to that a little bit later. If not, I'll write something about it on my YouTube channel. But absolutely, what a shame. Absolute shame that people are victimizing the dog for the lack of the president, his staff, the Secret Service, all of these people. Now remember, German Shepherds, let me brag a little bit. One tattooed on my leg, that doesn't mean anything. But I trained them and worked with them in the most advanced type of training you can imagine. Schutzhund 3 dogs I've done. Politz I hunt dogs, Belgian ring sport dogs, and even beyond that, which I can't talk about. But the bottom line is, everyone seems to be blaming the dog when the only blame here goes to the people around the dog that look upright. Agree or disagree? Want to ask me a question about it? Feel free. I've been talking about it all week. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. By the way, I've been talking about it because I've had the opportunity of training President's dog, so I know a little bit about what's going on. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Yeah, you know, you guys are so lucky you don't have to deal with my engineer, Alex. What a pain in the butt he is. I love the guy. But if I don't go to commercial break on time, it's like the end of the world is coming. So I better do it right now. When I come back, Pam, you'll be up next. Keep it short, guys, because the phones are jamming. I want to get to Pam. I want to get to Roman. I want to get to Vera. I want to get to Shelley. I want to get to Judy. I want to get to all your calls. 866-870-KRLA. Have you ever been conned by your pets? I want to hear you as well. 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through to the Pet Show. The phones are jam-packed. I'm going to get to some of your phones. But right now, And we are back on the Pet Show on this hot Saturday. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. The phone number 866-870-KRLA. The question of the day: have you ever been conned by your pet? But I also tossed this out and how bad I felt yesterday about not approaching two individual women that were grieving over the loss of a pet, and I was 100% wrong. There's no doubt in my mind I was 100% wrong. I responded as I would have wanted to be responded to, but then, as you guys know by now, I'm a pretty weird person. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Great time to call me. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Coming up, we're going to take a look at, sounds like a Seinfeld episode, doesn't it? The interference. We're going to talk about that coming up. And also, I'm surprised I haven't got a call on this yet. They say sleeping with your dog can now actually cause separation anxiety. So should you stop sleeping with your dog? Do you think it does cause separation anxiety? Give me a call. Send you a great gift, 866-870-5752. Let's go to my good friend Pam calling from North Hills. Hey, Pam, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing absolutely great. How are all your kids today?
We're all inside waiting for me to finish cleaning so we can play.
There you go.
Here's the thing, okay? You never know how somebody's going to react. And maybe your gut told, there was a reason why you couldn't go over there. Don't kill yourself about it. You are a good person. You know, I've done that many times. Let me tell you something real fast, and then I'll let you go because I know you're busy. So there's a guy, I live by the VA, and there's a guy that always goes by. I've seen him for years, and he always used to have a little doggy in a basket that he would go past me with, and the little she would bark. And, you know, sometimes he acted a little bit weird, but I've seen him for years. Well, recently he's in an electric wheelchair, and he got she died, and he got another one. And I ran into him, and he was parked in front of the market, and he had a sign up, veteran, and, you know, he was asking for help. And I went in, I did my business, and I didn't go and get him anything or offer anything, and I felt so shitty. And then the next day I went back over there and said, as soon as I see him, or if I see him lying down the street, I'm going to come in. And the next day I went up to him and I got him some dog food and I gave him an umbrella and I gave him some money because I felt that's what I needed to do.
Yeah,
you know?
so that was your way of dealing with it, yeah.
You do what you do, you know?
There you go. All right, let me go. I know you got dogs to take care of. I will speak to you soon. Give them all a hug and a kiss for me, will you, Pam?
I will. Have a good day.
You too. Take care. She's an amazing lady. She has more foster dogs than I don't know. Hey, great time to call me. Got an open line or two, pretty rare. We got a whole hour to go. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick call from Judy in Glendale. Hey, Judy, Glendale, welcome to the show.
Thank you. We never miss it. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. What can I do to help you today?
Okay, well, you asked about con dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs that con you. I got the best one in the world for that. Every time, whatever I'm doing in the house and whatever I'm doing, I put my jeans and my shoes on. He'll go to his toy box, bring me a toy, and sit there and say, I'm going too. And we take him.
And he wins. See, he wins every time.
Every single time. He would have the saddest look on his face if we couldn't get in that car.
You know, I often said that if anyone ever came from another planet, which seems to be pretty true that they might be around right now, but if anyone came from another planet, they would look down at us and they would think that we were the pets of our pets.
You're right. He is so smart. He's just wonderful, and he likes the Lucy's very, very much.
Wow, he's a smart.
I have all your books. So we know we have a problem. We looked that up, but we don't have any. We got him. We found him, rescued him when he was 1, and he's 5 years old now. And it's really his house, and we're lucky to live with him. He's so special.
You're absolutely right. So you give him a big hug and a kiss. I'm going to put you on hold, and for your dog that cons you all the time, I'm going to send you a jar of hugs and kisses. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. We're going to get to Roman. We're going to get to Vera. We're going to get to Barbara. I still got hugs and kisses to give away. I got Lucy pet food to give away. I got all-natural herbal flea spray with this hot weather. Take it from me. You're going to want that. I have kitty lickies. I got those brand new T-shirts, and those new T-shirts, it has has the same saying on it, "None of my friends walk upright," has the pet show on the back. Bottom line is this: we made an entire new design. And by getting one of those t-shirts, you know what? You're helping literally rescue organizations in all 50 states, because the money from the t-shirts goes to my own Hugs and Kisses Animal Fund, which, by the way, doesn't spend a penny on anything. Every expense they have comes out of my pocket, so that every penny you donate can go directly to getting to the small mom and pop organizations all across America that do the bulk of the work. And if you want to help me continue doing that, go to hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, hugsandkissesanimalfund.org, and help me. We've been helping these people for years, and every day some new group in some area you've never heard of organized a group, and they're trying to save animals. They need a few dollars, and they don't have the ability of public relations people and marketing people. So that's where I come in. We're kind of like the United Way for the small mom and pop pet places around the country. Check out hugsandkissesanimalfund.org. Great time to give me a call, by the way. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. A quick break, then right back at you. Talking about my Hugs and Kisses supplement. And we are back on the. I'm looking at the clock. Is it 11:57 already, Alex? But by the way, we have a whole other hour to go, so I'm not going to rush anybody. If you have to hold. I promise I'll send you a great gift. But I don't want to rush you. I want to make sure I have plenty of time to spend with you guys. So let me do this right now. I'm a big fan of the Jerry Seinfeld show. I've been a big fan since the beginning. Jerry Seinfeld executive produces Howard West and George Shapiro, who we lost the last couple of years. They both passed on, were my managers for many, many years. I was their smallest account, by the way. And I felt this sounded kind of like a Seinfeld show, the interference. Something cat owners joke about is how much their cats love to interfere with whatever you happen to be doing at the time. If you're working on your laptop, your cat is all over your keyboard interrupting whatever you're doing. When cats do this, what are they doing? Your cats are letting you know that the attention you are giving anything else should in fact be directed at them instead. Coming between you and the object you're engaged with is your cat's way of commanding you stop and pay attention to them. The interference. How many cat people out there suffer with the interference? It's so, so true. I have lived with many cats. I believe that they know exactly what they're doing when they jump on stuff or hang out with stuff or walk over stuff. They're just saying, hey, listen, it's my time. Put that computer down. Put that book down. Put whatever you have down. It's cat time now. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me do this. When we come back, I'm going to take a break. You'll be my first call. We got Vera up next. We got Sally, Barbara. What a great call, by the way. 2 calls up there about separation anxiety. I really want to get to that because there's a brand new study out that says separation anxiety may be caused by letting your dog sleep in bed. Nah, I don't buy it. Do you buy it? Give me a call, 866-870-KRLA. Whole other hour to go. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of really amazing stuff to give away. The question of the day is, how have you been conned by your dog or cats? I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show.
to stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. He sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And if you love animals, I'm assuming you do, you have come to the right place. This is The Pet Show. This show's been on with you guys for 43 years, and the whole objective of what I do is to make life better for you, I guess, too, but for your dogs and cats. If you have questions or comments, want to share a great story, want to resolve any issues, jumping, whatever it may be, that's what I do and have been doing for many, many years. So if you have a question or comment, want to share a great story about a dog or cat you rescued, want to answer my question, have you ever been conned by your pets? Give me a call. Everyone that gets through gets a great gift for their dog or cat. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. There's no place else, folks, and I don't want to sound this from an egotistical point of view, but there's no place else where you can get the type of behavioral information that I share with you guys every week and have been for so many years. Yeah. I've been doing this for a few weeks, and I got a good feeling. And if I feel like maybe you're not being fair to your dog or cat, I'm not going to cover it up. I'm going to tell you, listen, I look at life from the perspective of both you and your pets, and I want equality for you and your pets. I don't want anyone yelling and screaming and bossing, and I don't want it. Anyway, bottom line, great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. What do you think? Do you think that sleeping with your dog can actually cause your dog to have separation anxiety? We'll talk about that. Also, just before I get to the phones, hopefully I will get to talk about Commander, President Biden's dog that's bitten everybody. Now, you know my experience. You know what I've been doing my entire life. If for some reason we don't have time to talk about Commander today, what I will do is this week, probably Tuesday or Wednesday, on my YouTube channel. And by the way, if you're not subscribing to the YouTube channel, why? It's free. I share amazing information. And when I say amazing, I mean lots of great tips, lots of things that will help you out, lots of fun stuff, lots of videos. Go to my YouTube channel. If I don't get to talk about it today in depth, I will do a YouTube video and post it next week. It's youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Check it out. I'm telling you, there's a lot of great information there, and you have a short attention span. I do something called shorts, which are just 1-minute tips that will help you and your pet get along even better than you already did. Now, in the last hour, I talked about something I did at the veterinary hospital the other day where 2 women came out, separate women, both in tears. Obviously, they had to have their dogs euthanized or their cat. I don't really know. They were crying and in tears. Denise wanted to go console them. I thought it was a bad idea. I realize now how wrong I was. If you want to respond to that, feel free to respond to that as well. I think that's what Roman's going to respond to right now. So let's go to Roman in Los Angeles. Hey, Roman, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, Warren. First, I want to say I listen to your show a lot. You are one of the most compassionate people on the planet. If the planet was populated with more people like you, it would be a much better place. I wanted to say that I honestly don't think that you need to feel bad about feeling the way that you feel and reacting the way that you feel and react when these situations occur. And I know you're a pet superstar, but I don't know that going up to these ladies in their time of grief would have made any difference, because they are going to react the way that they are going to react. And losing a pet is a horrendous thing for all of us. And I just don't think you should beat yourself up for just, thinking that you're being selfish. You're not being selfish. You're reacting the way you do. They will have reacted the way they do. The only part
of me, Roman, that I feel is that what if, I'm always that what if guy. What if my hugging them or saying something can make a difference? And there's a simple reason. And thank you for that. And I should have listened.
Yeah, and then please though, you've done more great things for the planet and for animals than anybody I know. And or that that I've listened to. So please don't feel any
I really, Roman, I do appreciate that, but let me just explain why. Okay, let me just give a quick reason. You all know, listen, you know everything about me. I've, between watching me on Regis and Kathy Lee, or the shows, and talking about it on the radio for as many years as I have, that there's no facade with Warren. You know Warren by this point. In 1990, when my first wife, Faye, passed away at a very, very young age, the funeral and everything took place. And there were limos that obviously went to the cemetery, and everyone's trying to push me into the limo. We're going back to the house. We're going here. We're going there. We're going there.
I'm not hearing you as well.
I didn't. What I did is when it was at the cemetery and they all wanted me to hop in the limo to go back for whatever services or go back home. Here's what I did. It was just what I had to do. I got into my 1970 Duster, which I would refuse to get into a limo. I wanted to be by myself. And at the end of the funeral, what I did is it's interesting that Gilgo Beach is so popular now between those murders, but I drove to Gilgo Beach on Long Island, and I spent many hours there just walking the beach, letting out what I had to let out. And I think that's the way I dealt with it. But again, the reason I'm feeling a little bad about it is not everyone reacts that way. So maybe I should have attempted, maybe not. But I promise you, I will go to sleep. So anyway, Roman, what type of pets do you have, Roman?
Oh, I adopted the most incredible, most beautiful black lab. She was 4.5 years old. She came from a broken home, didn't have a great start in life, and she became our black angel. She saved my wife's life, literally.
Oh.
And she's an amazing girl. She was 4.5 then. She's 12 now. I've had 2 other black labs. This little girl, she has no gray hair. I got all the gray hair. She has none on her muzzle. It's amazing. And we do try to keep her at a good, healthy weight. She was a little over, and we got her back on track. But one thing that she has is she's got one of these lipomas on her side, and this on her right side. It makes it look like she's a little overweight. It's not. But what I wanted to ask you about was that I had seen on the internet some sort of additives that you put into the foods that helps dissolve lipomas. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
I never heard of anything like that. That's something you might want to run by your vet, but I've never heard of anything like that.
Okay, yeah, it's something about helping them absorb it back into the body, and
it's possible. There are so many new supplements coming out there. I don't know specifically of that one, but if you let me know if you find out about it, though, I'd be real interested.
I will do that. Thank you for taking my call.
But in the meantime, Roman, let me do this. At 12, you have your dog that's 13 years old, a Labrador. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you a product that I'm really proud to be able to send. I'm not going to send you hugs and kisses. I'm going to send you some Orthrosuit Gold. 13-year-old lab. Let's keep those joints and hips in the best shape ever. Orthrosuit Gold on its way to you, and I really do appreciate that phone call. It's really you guys are amazing, absolutely amazing. Let's go to Vera in Long Beach. Hey, Vera, welcome to the Pet Show.
Thank you. Hi, Warren. I actually spoke with you about 3 or 4 months ago. I'm the mom of the young man that died at home with his Doberman in bed, and he had some urine issues, but that has been resolved. But the phone call dropped, so we never got to finish our talk. But I'm calling about the separation anxiety study.
Yeah.
I have a Great Dane, and he's 2 years old, and he's slept with me since he was 9 weeks old. And I don't know that it's separation anxiety at all. I don't think so, because, Danes are very affectionate anyways and very owner-occupied.
So what would make you even consider the fact that he may be anxious? What's he doing?
When I get home from work, sometimes I work really late hours. I'm a nurse. I can work up to 17 hours a day.
God bless you.
But even if I just work an 8-hour shift, but when I get home, he is on his haunches and he's crying and he's and he just
that sounded pretty close. That sounded pretty close to a Great Dane. I just want you to know that, Vera.
Yeah, I've been indoctrinated. Okay.
I guess you have. So here's the thing. Okay. There's a big difference between separation anxiety, where a dog becomes destructive because he can't deal with the separation that he's going through. There's something else called abandonment issues. The fact that your dog is so excited to see you when you come home, that's not a problem. Not a problem for you, not a problem for the dog. It's a Great Dane. If he was jumping on top of you, knocking you down, that's a different ball game. But he's so excited to see mom, because you do work strange hours, so when mom comes home, it's like he just hit the Powerball. So there's, people say, how can I stop my dog? It's like stopping a kid from hugging you. You can't. Nor should you. Let them get the excitement out, provided it's controlled excitement. He's not jumping all over you. I happen to be a big Great Dane fan. The only downside of a Great Dane is sometimes their lifespan.
Is what?
Their lifespan.
Yeah, well, he's my second Dane. My first one lived 11 years, and I had to put him down because he got heat stroke.
What color?
Otherwise, he was.
What color is your Dane?
He's a black Dane. Yeah. He's 2 years old.
I was just talking to someone the other day. I'm going to drop names. Many years ago, I did a show in New York called Saturday Morning Live. And it was, remember Gene Rayburn? Anybody out there remember Gene Rayburn? Match Game? Gene was a good friend. He was hosting the show, and I had a bunch of Great Danes on the show with me. And on that same show, appearing was Chubby Checker. Let's twist again. Chubby Checker was, I didn't know this, but he was
like we did last summer.
A big Great Dane lover. He had a Harlequin Great Danes. He was a big Great Dane lover. We couldn't leave. We kept talking, having coffee, and talking about his Great Danes. Beautiful, beautiful dog. It's like owning a little dog in a big dog suit. They can be really, really gentle. I had the opportunity of working with them in Europe also. Great breed of dog. So I would, as long as he's not hurting you, he's excited to see you, leave well enough alone. That's what I would do, Vera.
Oh, that's what I do. We go in the bedroom, we get on the bed, and we debrief for about 5 minutes, and he gets all of his loves and kisses and hugs. And
I was talking about separation anxiety and a dog sleeping in bed. How big is your bed? You have a Great Dane.
I have a king size.
Ah, gosh. Does he sleep vertically or horizontally? My little guys, as little as my dogs are, they absolutely refuse to sleep vertically. They must sleep horizontally, which means that Warren never has 2 arms and 2 legs on his California King at the same time. Because heaven forbid I would wake them up and move them. I would. Denise will go to me, Warren, you can't sleep that way. Just move the dog. I know they're sleeping, Denise. Leave them be. Leave them be. But then again, I am a little eccentric. Yeah. Great call I know you called
horizontal.
It's going to take me time. So what I'm going to do, Vera, the thing that you called a few months ago, I'm not going to send you a gift. I'm going to do is I'm going to drop you and give that Dane a hug and a kiss. And what I'm going to do is donate whatever gift I would normally send to you to some local rescue or humane organization. By the way, the lovely Denise, my wife, by the way, is already online working with people trying to find a home for that dog where the lady had lost her son. What a hard story to hear, really. But hopefully California will come through. A rescue, humane. We want to find a home for this dog, German Shepherd Husky mix. Here's the bottom line. I will pay for the dog to be shipped out of my own pocket. I will pay for the dog to be shipped from Florida to California to get to that right person. I will pay all expenses on that, I promise. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Great time to give me a call. I do got 2 open lines. Pretty rare, 866-870-5752. I still got hugs and kisses to give away. The most expensive thing, I got Lucy Pet Food, my best-selling books, Kitty Lickies, all-natural flea spray. You guys are going to need that, I'm telling you. Great stuff to give away. Plenty of time for your calls. The question of the day is, how does your dog or cat con you? That's one of the questions of the day. And if you still want to respond to whether or not you felt that I did the wrong thing or not, you're not going to convince me that I shouldn't have reacted differently, but I'll deal with it. If you want to talk about Biden's dog, give me a call about that as well. Listen, I'm not going to get political here. No one knows my political. I never talk about my politics. I've trained dogs for the biggest Democrats, the biggest Republicans, the biggest independents. Believe me, I've trained them all over the years. And the bottom line, how about from Gerald Fall to Geraldine Ferraro? There's a combination for you. But they're just great people. And There's a big mistake going on at the White House, a big mistake. I wish I could spend 10 minutes with Biden and his crew and try to tell him what's going wrong. This is the second dog, not the first. 866-870, Carla. Yeah, Alex, I know I have a clock in front of me and I got to go to a commercial break. So here's the deal. Lucy Pet Food. What can I tell you about Lucy? Boy, no one's been more abused than elephants. I am such a big fan of elephants. There's nothing more intelligent, interesting, fascinating, amazing. I just adore them. Remember years ago when I was a peace officer in New York, I would go to the, was it the Clyde Beatty? One of the circuses, and I would just kind of stand by the elephants and shut them down when I had the opportunity. Hey, we're back on the Pet Show on Warren X. That was a different life. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. I got this question this week about a dog and its mouth open. If you notice that your dog's leaving his mouth slightly open but not panting, this is an indication that your dog is happy and relaxed. However, in some cases, this gesture may actually look like your dog is smiling. So when asked if dogs smile, the answer is absolutely 100%. Tell them a joke and watch. All right, let me get back to the busy phone lines. I'm going to get to you in a second, Barbara. Let's go to Heather in Beverly Hills. Hey, Heather, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. Thank you for taking my call. I wanted to tell you it's been really hard for me to listen to the show because I had to put my dog down in February. She was 18 years old, and I called constantly to get information from you, which I did, and was so grateful. Lola was 18. She was a Chihuahua mix. And I wanted to tell you, I don't know about the veterinarian situation that you were in. I like the woman who said everybody handles it in a different way. So it's not even sure that she would have appreciated that. But I wanted to tell you that you said something on air, and I'll never forget it. You said that when you put down a dog, it's so hard to get another one. But you said you'd be saving another dog. And I've thought about that, and I know that's the only reason that I'm going to be able to get another dog when I'm ready. But I just wanted to tell you how much that meant to me, what you said. And I use it with other people that are losing dogs.
Well, Heather, the reason I often bring that up is, we fall so much in love with the dogs and cats that we live with. And when they do cross the Rainbow Bridge, what is the best tribute that we can pay to them? Most of my listeners have rescued their dogs or rescued their cats, some from horrible situations, some other situations, and some have bought them, and that's their option. But the bottom line is the greatest legacy for any dog or cat, at least the way I feel, and this is my life, is if their guardian, when they're ready, everyone has to grieve at their own pace, but when they're ready, goes out and saves another dog or another cat. What a great legacy for the dog or cat that you gave the incredible life to. And this is going to sound really, really strange, and maybe it's just because I'm Romanian, okay? But I honestly believe very often, and I've seen this in my own life experiences, every once in a while, when you save a dog or you save a cat after saying goodbye to a dog or a cat that lived with you for many years, somehow, some way, a part of that dog or cat is in the new dog or cat you just saved. It's just amazing how that works. And I'm not the most spiritual person in the world, but there's something above me that figures that all out. So, yeah, I think when people are ready, it's the right thing to do. What an incredible legacy to leave on. And when you're ready, you'll do it. But I'm so glad. Thank you for calling, Heather. What a great call.
Thank you.
I don't know what. So you have no pets at the moment?
I'm visiting my sisters, which live just real close to me, and that's been so helpful. Her two little dogs.
Yeah. So you have your nieces and nephews to hang out with till you're ready.
Yes.
Well, Heather, listen. You give them a big hug. I'm going to put you on hold, Heather, and I'm trying to think of you know what, Heather? I'm going to send you a T-shirt. That's what I'm going to do. And when you get another dog, call me back. You're an incredible call. What a lovely lady. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. We're going to get to you, Barbara. We're going to get to Ron. We're going to get to Lee and Laverne. Let me see if I can squeeze Lee in here real quick. Hey, Lee, welcome to the show. What's the update on your cat, Lee?
Yeah, it was a day after the 4th of July. I fed her. And I went to pick up recyclables. You remember me, right? I'm the crazy cat homeless guy that.
You're just another crazy guy on this show. That's all. Homeless or not, you're just another crazy guy, Lee.
So I came back 2 hours later, and she's been gone for 3 weeks in one day. There's 2 big boulevards that she'll never cross, so I've been concentrating on the south and the east. And yesterday, one of the homeless guys around here, he said, "Are these your cat posters up?" I said, "Yeah." And I think I saw your cat the other day. How long ago? About 2 days ago. And I said, "What'd she look like?" Jet black, and she had the big pointy ears, and she was sticking up out of the bushes. And this is the first glimmer of hope that I've had, because I cannot keep her locked up in the van. She loves to roam, but I try and corral her into this small area around here in these two parking lots. But she just wants to expand her territory.
How about trying to use a leash and a harness?
How about trying to what?
Use a leash and a harness so you can tie her up outside. She can get outside, but in a safe way.
I should have done that, and even worse than that, I should have put a collar on her and one of those, engraved tags with my phone number and name on it.
Here's my hope. My hope is that you wake up tomorrow morning, and she's back in the van with you.
And that's my biggest hope. That somebody will. She'll never let another human being touch her, and she'll never let a coyote get her. She's the fastest cat in the world, Warren.
Lee, listen. Yeah, I listen. I hope you find them. We all feel that way. How long have you been living in the van now, Lee?
About 3 weeks. 3 weeks and a couple of days. Yeah. And I still have your kitty lickies and your Lucy pet food.
What about your life at the moment? Are you going to be able to move on? Are you going to be able to change it? Are you going to have the ability to get a home?
I want to go back to Redondo, Manhattan, Hermosa, even Torrance, Gardena, Lawndale, wherever. But it's just, I'm on Social Security, and it's really, really tough.
Lee,
and all this money flowing out of Sacramento. It's the homeless industrial complex. Yeah. These people set these things up, and they just rent like an office building and get file folders and go out on the street.
Lee, I just hope, listen, I know exactly what you're talking. I do a lot of work with. I just hope that someday, whatever monies go directly to where the monies are needed. Listen, Lee, I'm going to put you on hold. I don't know what to do, Lee. Lee, give me a call back in a couple of weeks. Let's go a little bit further. He breaks my heart. Poor guy loves his animals. He's living in a van. What is, the most incredible world, the most incredible country. People have money. People have lives. Why is a guy like him? I mean, there are some people out there that are crazy. Listen, I live in Santa Monica. I understand the homeless situation. But the bottom line is a guy like him who's so passionate about his animals, more important than himself. God, makes me crazy. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. Let me take a quick break here. And then we'll get right back to your calls. Barbara, Ron, Hank, Mary. Tough call, man. My heart breaks for this guy. You heard the compassion. And why would this guy be homeless? I mean, people out there that want to be, if that's what they want, whatever they want. This is a guy living in his van. Man, I hope he finds a home. Whatever I can do, you let me know. All right, listen, here's the deal. Speaking about helping animals. And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Let's go right down the list here. We'll get to all your calls. Let's start out with Barbara in Los Angeles. Hey, Barbara, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren.
How are you today?
Shabbat Shalom, Good Shabbos.
Thank you.
So, about the separation anxiety?
Yeah.
Whenever I go out the door, if I'm going to go in my car to work or errands, I do a blessing on all of my animals in my apartment that they should be watched over, especially while we're parted. But they don't have separation anxiety that I ever see. I have a Simmons Beauty Rest, a single bed, and I have a Border Collie, Australian Shepherd, and let's say a couple of cats. Let's not count them. And anyway, a bunch of animals get up there with me. Last night they only left me 2 inches down sort of the middle to sleep, and I had a rough night. But they were very peaceful. And I just think that study is garbage. And because I've listened to you for so many years, I've learned how to raise the animals so that they feel loved, that they are stable and well cared for, and they don't have this anxiety. They take strength from each other, the dogs and the cats, in a pretty small apartment. It's like 400 or 450 square feet. This is our castle. And
so Barbara, listen, I am not the most religious person in the world. My grandparents were very religious, and I don't ever remember a prayer for separation anxiety. I know there's a prayer for wine, a prayer for bread, a prayer for this. I don't remember my grandfather saying, "Hey, you know what? Before you go out, say a prayer before we leave the dog."
Well, just a prayer that
that everything's okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's the greatest prayer. That's the greatest prayer in the world. Let everything be all right. That's the greatest prayer in the world. That covers it all.
Yeah, that they'll be cared for, and that I'll be back soon. And I tell them I'll try to hurry back as soon as I can.
Did they understand Yiddish, your dogs?
Yeah, and French and a little German.
You know, when I was growing up, I had 3 grandparents. I had 3 grandparents living with 2 from Romania and 1 from Austria, Hungary, whatever country he was from.
Yeah.
So my dogs growing up, they understood Yiddish, they understood Romanian, they understood Austrian, they understood a little bit of German. The only thing they didn't understand was English.
And then, did they ever say to you, "Hocknish Konscheinik"?
I grew up hearing Hockschwitz and Chinik. You know what that means? You're driving me crazy. Right, my close?
Against the teapot.
You're driving me crazy. Yeah, that's how I grew up. My grandmother, Molly, my Romanian grandmother, that was her sentence for me. And she could never say Warren. I grew up thinking my name was Vaden. That's how I grew up.
Well, I'm very mixed, so I feel like a stranger and like everybody's cousin everywhere I go.
Well, there you go. Hey, listen, I'm going to send you something for your dogs. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on.
No, don't send. You already sent me something. It's on the way from a...
Oh, so how about if I donate it to somebody?
Yes, please.
Give those pets give them a big hug and a kiss and have a good night's sleep in that single bed. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me go to Hank in Simi Valley. Hey, Hank, welcome to the show. Hey, Hank. Where's Hank? Did I get the Hank? Did I not call? Hey, Hank.
I'm here.
How you doing?
I'm fine, sir.
What can I do for you?
Well, my grandson has a Great Pyrenees, and he's very, what's the word? We're going to be greeted by all the dogs here. I have like 6. Anyway, my grandson's Great Pyrenees has very, very tender tummy. And I was wondering about feeding him raw meat, chicken, whatever that stuff is with the bones and the whole thing.
I am not a fan of raw food. I don't feed my dogs raw food. I don't recommend anyone do feed their dogs raw food. There's more bacteria, things like salmonella and other harmful bacteria. Nearly 25% of the raw dog food sample tested positive for some type of harmful bacteria. Now, there are some good ones on the market that people have been using, and people believe in using them. I've heard from vets where pieces of bones have been found. Bottom line is this. If you're asking me my personal opinion, I do not feed raw food and recommend raw food or endorse raw food. I'm old school, maybe a little bit old school, but I don't think raw food is the way to go. There's too many things that can happen with raw food, and I hear about them constantly.
Well, then, just as an academic question, with being it, if it drops regular human food, to get sick, etc. What kind of food that's not? I think they're paying like $100 a month for dog food.
Well, here, the bottom line is, let me do this. I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food. It's a limited ingredient food. It's an incredible food. You want to switch the dog over to it gradually. And the bottom line is, if the dog has a sensitive stomach, this may be exactly what the dog needs. So let me switch you over to the Lucy pet food. The problem is, when a dog has a sensitive stomach, people get upset and they try a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But the bottom line is that in terms of raw meat, not a fan. I know a lot of stores opened up. We sell raw meat, and that's fine. And if that's what people want to feed their dog, listen, I am not going to argue with what you want to feed your dog. Bottom line is, though, I hear from a lot of people. I speak to a lot of veterinarians. You can speak to most. In fact, if you were to Google raw food for dogs, chances are you come up with all the different percentages of studies done saying that there's a higher concentration or chance of certain types of bacteria in raw food than in processed food.
All righty. Well, probably not a good idea for a dog with an upset stomach.
Let's do this. Let's get you. Don't forget, Lucy Pet Food has you can get salmon and pumpkin. I don't know what they're going to send you, but I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette, let's send them some Lucy Pet Food for their dog. It's interesting, and there's a lot of people swear by raw foods. I'm not going to say you shouldn't. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. Here's my only advice, okay? When you get information about your dog or about your cat, whether it be feeding or other information, make sure that the information you're getting is from people that can give you quality information. Just by going to the internet, you're not going to get, and just by going to a store that says, we have all natural raw dog food and cat food for your dog, and the person behind you go in there just explaining to you, this is this and this is that. There's a good possibility. Some are really good and they're knowledgeable, but some have been selling shoes for their entire lives, and all of a sudden, they're dog food experts. Maybe I'm old school. My dogs have all lived happy, normal lives, and I've never fed any of them raw food except for carrots and blueberries. My dogs love fruit because I'm addicted to fruit as well. Hey, the phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a break. When we come back, we have Ron and La Cañada. Said it right, Ron, you got it. With separation anxiety. Bill wants to know about his dog and grapes, and Mary wants to know about her overprotective mini pincher. Great time to call me. Plenty of time for your calls. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. Speaking about talking to the animals, I posted a picture this week of me hanging out with my rescued pet pig, who's no longer with me. I had a Corky for like 11 and a half, 12 years. She was about almost 1,000 pounds, and I posted a picture on my Facebook page. If you want to check it out, it's facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk, facebook.com. That's my Facebook page, facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. A picture of me and Corky having a conversation. The best conversations I ever had about politics and religion were with my pet pig. I got to tell you, we never argued. We always wound up agreeing. So check it out at facebook.com/Warren Pet Talk. You should friend me there anyway. I do share some info there as well. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to Ron first. Then we got Bill. Then we got Mary. Hey, Ron, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, Warren. I think I need Barbara's separation anxiety prayer. Okay?
Well, what's up?
We've got a 4-year-old golden doodle. His name is Fred. And we treat him nothing but love, and he loves us. And he smiles. He shows his teeth when he smiles at us. He gives us about, I don't know, between 20 and 40 hugs every single day. But he is just crazy about my wife. He is her shadow, follows her everywhere, and we just cannot leave him alone. We haven't been on vacation in years. We finally took a weekend vacation just a month ago. And we flew up to Portland just for the weekend, and we had a friend stay at our house, and we would call up our friend and see how he's doing, and we'd check on the nest and everything because we have a nest at home. And for like 48 hours, he did nothing but howl and bark. He just was crying all the time.
Now listen,
it's just amazing.
Just think of how much money you're going to save by not going anywhere. Just think about how much money you're going to save by not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what to do.
Listen, here's the scenario. Separation anxiety is a real thing. However, most people create it. And the way they create separation anxiety is because you're like I am. You love your dog. Amazing. Whenever you're home, you want to be on top of the dog. You want the dog to be on top of you. You're watching TV. You're having dinner. You're sitting around. You're playing. Whatever you're doing, you want your dog to be with you all the time. So you've created a situation where the dog does not feel comfortable when you're not there. So the first thing you need to do is start giving the dog a little bit of time on his own. How do you do that? Even when you're home. You and your wife go into another room for 5 minutes, read a book, whatever you're doing, and don't make a big deal out of it. When you come out, no big hugs. I know it's hard, no hellos, just go in and come out. The same thing when you're leaving the house. Practice leaving the house without your car keys, without your wife's purse, and then walk out the front door and walk in the back door, then go out the back door and walk out the front door. What happens now is everyone has a trigger. Their trigger lets their dog know that they're going to be gone for a longer period of time. What we need to let the dog understand is the concept that when you leave, you're always going to come back. And when I say you're always going to come back, it means whether it be a short period of time, a long period of time. So number one, increase the exercise factor before you leave. Besides all of the wonderful toys I'm sure your spoiled dog has, give him only a couple more. Those only go down when you leave. You get picked up when you come home. Leave a radio on a talk station, a loud volume. I could recommend one to you, KRLA. An exercise session before you leave. And again, just practice leaving him for short periods, building it up a little bit at a time. To be totally honest with you, Ron, probably of all the behavioral issues I've been dealing with over the last, 10 or 15 years, separation anxiety has been one of the most important because people tend to be out of their homes more, more husbands and wives both working. The kids are involved with soccer, so the dogs are left alone. But if you build it up gradually, a little bit at a time, that's the resolution. What often happens is people try to correct it. Well, you tell the dog, no, you do this, you do that. The dog's already anxious before you're leaving, so any type of correction is just going to cause more angst to the dog. But you need to build it up a little bit at a time. A little patience goes a long way, and you'll love me one day, you'll hate me one day, but at the end, you can fly back to Portland and enjoy your vacation. What I'm going to do, Ron, is I'm going to send you a copy of How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. I want you to read. There's a great chapter in there on separation anxiety. Now, bottom line is, you're not going to get the book overnight. We have to ship it to you, but you will get it relatively soon. But in the interim, if you go to my website, thepetshow.com, and it's all free there, just check out one of the articles on separation anxiety. I'll go into a little bit more depth till you actually get the book. Just so you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, resolving separation anxiety with a 4-year-old dog is 100% possible as long as you're consistent. And continuity, the most critical thing. How's that sound, Ron?
We'll give it a try, definitely.
Give it a try. I promise you it's going to work. Listen, separation anxiety is, to me, is like a dentist going to cleaning teeth. There's nothing more basic I can do. It's not the separation anxiety that's difficult to resolve. It's the creation of the separation anxiety by the people the dog lives with that's difficult, because it's hard. You know, tough love can sometimes be hard. But keep me posted. I'm going to put you on hold. Suzette will pick up. Keep me posted, and we'll take you further if we have to go that far. But check out the website till the book comes, thepetshow.com. 866. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Let me take a break right now. When I come back, I'm going to try to get to Bill and Mary. But remember now, you all know that after I get off the air here, I do my international show for Radio American Armed Forces Radio. It goes all over the United States and Canada and Guam. The same type of show. I give away the same type of gift. So if for some reason you're driving around or you're shopping or you're putting on sunscreen, whatever you're doing, I'll give you that number in a little bit. You can start calling at 1 o'clock, and I'll answer your questions there. And if you get through to me there, I will give you the phone number. I give away the same type of gift. So I'll give you that number in a little bit. A quick break, though, and then right back to your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. You're listening to The Pet Show. Fly. We're back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Let me give you that number for the network show. You can start calling, not before, but you can start calling at 1 o'clock. Be patient. Write this number down, 877-725-8255. It's the phone number for Radio America. It goes all over the U.S., Canada. But you guys from L.A. will be my first callers coming in. So don't start calling till 1 o'clock and be patient because the call's going to D.C. 877-725-8255. Let me go to Bill right now. Hey, Bill, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hello, Warren. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Appreciate that. What can I do for you?
Yes. Can you give dogs grapeseed extract?
Yeah, let me explain a couple of things. That's a great question, by the way. You cannot give the dogs, do I recommend anyone give the dogs grapes? However, the studies that have come out recently, including studies from the ASPCA Poison Control Center, what they suggest is that grapeseed oil or grapeseed extract is fine. In fact, some people have used it in the past for allergic situations with their pets. So grapes, no, raisins, no, but a little grapeseed extract or grapeseed oil, according to the ASPCA Poison Control, is fine. Why do you ask that question?
Yeah, because I take it myself, and I know what it does for humans, and it could possibly do the same thing for my dog.
Yeah, they say that for I have rheumatoid arthritis. I don't take grapeseed extract. Maybe I should. They say it's really good for inflammation as well. Both dogs and cats, by the way, so it's non-toxic according to them. So yeah, grapeseed extract would be fine. Grapeseed oil, again, you might want to run it by your vet to make sure the amount you actually want to use. Because remember, a lot of the companies that sell it want to sell more, so you have to know the exact amount to give your dog. That would be really important. But as long as it's the extract or as long as it's the grapeseed oil, that's fine. Just no real grapes or real raisins. Hope that helps you out there, Bill.
Okay.
Don't go anywhere, Bill. What kind of dog do you have?
I have a Pit Bull German Shepherd.
Pit Bull German Shepherd. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your Pit Bull German Shepherd. You know, I'm going to send some all-natural herbal flea spray on its way to you, and I appreciate that phone call. You know, Mary, you've been holding on for a half hour. I'm not going to have a chance to take your call, but listen, please write this number down. 877-725-8255. I'll make you one of my first calls coming up on the national show, which starts at 1 o'clock. Be patient. Let the phone ring. Again, the number for that show, 877-725-8255. And again, a reminder, there's no way I can answer all the questions that you guys have. So go to my YouTube page. It doesn't cost you anything. I made sure everything on my YouTube page is absolutely free. Subscribe to it. I share lots of shorts there, which are like 1 minute or more tips every day. I answer your questions there. There's a lot on my website. You can ask Warren. I can't answer all of them, but every week I hop onto my YouTube channel and I answer a bunch of questions. So check out, subscribe, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. Until next week, give all your pets a big, big hug and a kiss for you, a special one right between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein. And again, thank you for listening to The Pet Show.